Hey, Gronky again. I wanted to go through some of the media that inspires me and how it will affect some of the aspects of the project going forward. So, in my initial video, I was talking about the Wharton Files, Vita Canis, and Marble Hornets specifically. Now, here's a question for the class. What do all of these have in common? They are all analogue horrors. Well done to those who got it right. We're starting off a bit easy today. These projects are all well thought out stories, some more than others. Like Marble Hornets, for example. You get a general idea of what's going on story-wise if you concentrate and binge them all. And this still applies to both the Wharton Files and Vita Canis. But the beauty of all of them is you can show pretty much any clip to someone and it will still stand alone as a really eerie video. The production itself is beautiful in every sense of the word. It's about the execution of the horror that is going to allow us to pipeline the story. Anyway, let's crack on with some of the elements that work in horror and what elements I would like to attempt. Suspense is a beautiful tool. It's all to do with timing, previous information, and context given, and the pure scare factor of it. A beautiful example is the humble Five Nights at Freddy's. But let's just concentrate on what I want to take from this. To start, let's talk about the sounds. There's the buzzing of the lights, the loud juxtaposition of the sound of the doors, as well as your power being limited, and on that first experience, it really adds to the tension, as well as the obvious addition of the killer robots trying to kill you. You don't know how, why, or when it's going to happen, but you know they're gonna get you. It's simple, yet effective, and in these types of scenarios, less is more. Another important addition to horror is creature design. The creature not only looking scary, but the environment around it, design itself, and the narrative all come together to tell either a tragic, evil, or sometimes even understandable character. Making each instance of a character to be deeper and in turn more fleshed out is a must for adding to the fear aspect of the scare. Understanding what you're up against obviously comes later, and if I sat here and told you to make a character's intentions obvious, it'd be really hypocritical of me considering we just talked about the absence of horror and how it adds to the scare. But, like my drug dealer always says, moderation is key. A game I would also like to talk about in that aspect is Routine, a game made by Luna Software with this being their debut game. It's a game about waking up on a deserted moon facility where you're left with nothing but a taser and your curiosity. If that sounds enticing to you, I implore you to either play it or watch the 3FS video or Markiplier video on it. Both links will be in the description below. Anyway, the atmospheric storytelling of this game is top tier, especially with the crouching mechanics. You can stand on your tippy toes in this game and go all the way down low and look under all the nooks and crannies. And this is also a puzzle game with no hand holding whatsoever. You find yourself looking under and over every cabinet, which in turn naturally makes you take a step back and look at the surroundings. The immersion in that single mechanic adds so much depth, and I'd love to see more games do this. And as for the goals with the creature design, I am avoiding spoilers like the plague, but the robots in the first major section are definitely food for thought, as well as the inhuman aspect of the appearance. Further exploring the relatability and humanity through the narrative will grip the audience in a natural and non-overbearing way. These are all things that need to be taken into consideration surrounding that design, and will naturally allow us to progress the arc of the character. Along with this, the creature design is horrifying. You learn more about them as the story progresses, which is another tick box ticked for me. Also, like the last game I talked about, they also have killer robots. They also have loud as hell footsteps that stand out from the quiet ambience of the high-tech moon base. The path this game sets you on makes you really want to get to the bottom of what's happening here, and in turn makes you learn about the creatures and how they were made. And a lot of what makes the horror interesting is the morbid curiosity. And I, for one, love a bit of that, especially when you get into those little YouTube rabbit holes at like 3 AM, where you just let your curiosity take over. I always feel as if your own home is the scariest place to be at night. Imagine this. The door to your bedroom is open, windows are closed, house is dead quiet, and you're just in bed. No phone, no light on, just there, in the darkness. Naturally, I would say it's your primal instincts telling you something, but at the end of the day, it isn't. This leads me on to our third and final game I would like to talk about, Rome 0120, a point-and-click adventure horror game about finding out the mysteries of a house where dark secrets lie deep in the creaks and crevices. You'll find yourself at the start of the game outside, eventually making your way into the house where you get knee-deep into what the game has to offer. I again implore you to either watch a video or play a game yourself, but for the sake of it, I will go slightly into detail once again. This game's horror focuses on a few key elements. On one hand, it isn't confirmed as a creature at the start. However, again with your own primal instincts, you're always looking for something, even anything, to just ground you. However, this game takes a certain control of those nerves. Trying not to get psyched out and concentrate on navigating the rooms of the house is the only way to manage in this game. You'll collect items to help you around the house, with large sensor boxes over things you seemingly aren't allowed to see, or that the person you are playing has literally blocked out of their memory. It's always cool when a piece of media includes something like this, because it really adds to the stakes, as you're conditioned as a human being to wonder what the consequences are, and at the end of the day, curiosity always kills the cat. Anyway, that's going to wrap this up for now. I'm going to be making more videos in a similar fashion, where I go over topics and media that I use as inspiration. And if any of you guys want me to cover a topic, please let me know in the comments, or my Discord server. Yeah, we all remember that, yeah. Anyway, link in the description. Go watch those videos, or play Routine, or play Five Nights at Freddy's. I know you haven't. I know you just watched YouTube videos when you were little, like I did. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.